There are two children growing up in California who have no idea what their names mean. Not yet. They are too young to understand that the question of what they are called, the specific words placed before their first names, has been debated in palaces and parliaments and courtrooms and living rooms across the world. They are too young to understand that a decision made before either of them was born, a decision made in a room they will never see, by people they barely know, will shape every significant moment of their lives. Their names are Archie and Lilibet, and the story of their titles is one of the most quietly consequential constitutional dramas the British monarchy has faced in a generation. This is Royal Daily Report, and tonight we are going deep into the documented reality of what these two children are, what they are entitled to, what they have been given, what has been withheld, and what all of it means for the future of a family and an institution that cannot seem to find peace with each other. Stay with us, because this story is not about gossip. It is about law. And the law, in this case, is more complicated and more fascinating than anything anyone has invented. Let's start at the beginning, not with Harry and Meghan. Further back than that. In 1917, King George V issued what is known as the Letters Patent of 1917. This was a formal royal decree, a legal instrument with constitutional force, that defined exactly who within the royal family would hold the title of prince or princess and the style of his or her royal highness. The reason George V issued this decree was practical and somewhat cold-blooded. The royal family at that time had an enormous number of relatives spread across multiple generations, and the king decided that the HRH style needed to be limited to prevent it from becoming meaninglessly common. The decree established clear rules. The children of the sovereign would hold HRH status. The children of the sovereign's sons would hold HRH status. Beyond that, the title contracted. Great-grandchildren of the sovereign in the male line would not automatically receive HRH status unless they were the eldest son of the eldest son of the Prince of Wales. For nearly a century, this rule worked without much controversy. The family tree was structured in a way that made its application relatively straightforward. And then Harry and Meghan had children, and suddenly the Letters Patent of 1917 became the most discussed constitutional document in the world. Here is the specific legal question that sits at the heart of this story. When Archie Harrison was born in May 2019, his grandfather, Prince Charles, was the Prince of Wales. Under the 1917 Letters Patent, Archie was the grandchild of the Prince of Wales, but specifically through the male line, making him eligible for the HRH style. However, there was a complication. The Letters Patent specify the eldest son of the Prince of Wales as the qualifying line for HRH status among great-grandchildren of the sovereign. Harry is not the eldest son of the Prince of Wales. William is, and William's children, George, Charlotte, and Louis, hold HRH status as children of the heir apparent. At the time of Archie's birth, legal experts were divided on the precise interpretation of the 1917 Letters Patent as they applied to Harry's children. Some argued Archie was entitled to a prince's title. Others argued the Letters Patent placed him outside the automatic entitlement. The palace, and crucially Harry and Meghan themselves at that time, made a public statement saying that Archie would not be given a royal title, presenting this as a choice they had made for privacy reasons. They said they wanted their son to have a normal life. They said the title was something they were stepping away from voluntarily. That was May 2019. By 2022, the position had changed. Following the death of Queen Elizabeth in September 2022, King Charles acceded to the throne. This changed the constitutional picture entirely. Under the Letters Patent, the children of the sovereign's sons are entitled to HRH status. Charles is now the sovereign. Harry is the son of the sovereign. Under a straightforward reading of the 1917 Letters Patent, Archie and Lilibet automatically became entitled to prince and princess titles and the HRH style upon their grandfather's accession. King Charles confirmed this. Buckingham Palace confirmed this. Archie is now officially styled as Prince Archie of Sussex. Lilibet is officially Princess Lilibet of Sussex. Their HRH status is confirmed in the official royal family records. But here is where it gets genuinely complicated. Because confirmed and used are not the same thing. Harry and Meghan have not consistently used the HRH style for their children in their own communications and public materials. The titles exist constitutionally. They are on the official record. But the Sussexes have at various points used, and not used them in ways that have generated significant confusion and significant controversy. The palace, for its part, confirmed the titles without fanfare. There was no ceremony. There was no announcement designed to generate positive coverage. The titles were simply updated in the official royal family documentation, which is itself a statement of a kind. The institution acknowledged the constitutional reality without making it a moment of warmth or celebration. This is the tension that runs through everything connected to Archie and Lilibet's position. The constitutional entitlement is clear. The human and political reality surrounding it is anything but. Now let's talk about what the titles actually mean in practical terms, because this is where the story moves from legal abstraction to something with genuine consequences for two real children. Being a prince or princess of the United Kingdom is not simply a label. It carries with it a set of expectations, obligations, and institutional relationships that shape what a person's life looks like. Working royals, those who carry out official duties on behalf of the crown, receive security funding, institutional support, a structured public role, and the kind of protection that the British state provides to members of the royal family who are considered to be at meaningful risk. Harry and Meghan stepped back from their roles as working royals in January 2020. As part of the arrangements agreed at the Sandringham summit, they lost their publicly funded security. This became one of the most bitterly contested aspects of their departure. Harry has spoken about the security issue extensively and with obvious emotion. He has described feeling that his family was being placed in danger. He has pursued legal action in the United Kingdom specifically around the question of security provision. For Archie and Lilibet, the security question is directly connected to the title question. As the children of a non-working royal who lives outside the United Kingdom, their security situation is different from that of George, Charlotte, and Louis, who are accompanied by royal protection officers funded by the British state. Harry has funded private security for his family in California. The cost of that security has been part of his legal arguments about the consequences of the decisions made around his departure from royal life. The titles also carry implications for the children's future place within the institution, should they ever choose to have one. George, Charlotte, and Louis are being raised inside the institution with an understanding of what it requires, what it demands, and what it offers. Archie and Lilibet are being raised in Montecito, California, within a household that has been publicly and repeatedly critical of that same institution. What does it mean to hold a British royal title while being raised in America by parents who have written books and given televised interviews describing the institution behind that title as damaging, racist in its operation, and indifferent to the mental health of its members? That is not a rhetorical question. It is a genuine constitutional and human puzzle that has no clear precedent in modern royal history. Harry himself has addressed aspects of this. He has said he wants his children to have choices. He has said he does not want them to be trapped in a system that he felt trapped him. He has also said he wants them to know their heritage, to know who they are, to understand the significance of the family they come from on both sides. Meghan has spoken about wanting Lilibet and Archie to be free in a way that she did not feel free during her time as a working royal. She has spoken about the psychological cost of institutional life and her determination that her children will not pay that cost. These are understandable positions for parents who went through what Harry and Meghan demonstrably went through. But they exist in tension with a constitutional reality that does not particularly care about parental intentions. Archie and Lilibet are Prince and Princess of the United Kingdom. That is what they are. The institution that granted those titles, the institution their parents publicly criticized, is the same institution that will shape what those titles mean for the rest of their lives. There is also the question of the succession list. Archie is currently fifth in line to the British throne. Lilibet is sixth. These are not ceremonial positions. They are constitutional facts recorded in official documents. The odds of either child ever ascending to the throne are vanishingly small given the line ahead of them. But the positions themselves carry a weight that is not diminished by their improbability. 5 people would have to die or abdicate before Archie became king. In any realistic scenario, that will not happen. But the fact that he is fifth in line means that his life, his choices, his relationships, and his public conduct will always carry a degree of institutional interest that most people's lives simply do not carry. He cannot fully escape what he is, however his parents choose to raise him. The same is true of Lilibet. She carries the name of the most celebrated monarch in British history. A name chosen with obvious emotional intention by her parents. A name that connected her from her first breath to a grandmother she met only a handful of times before that grandmother died. Queen Elizabeth herself confirmed the name choice warmly, which was significant given the tensions within the family at that time. The confirmation was a moment of connection across a divide that had become very wide. And then Elizabeth died in September 2022, and Lilibet was 14 months old. And the connection to the woman whose name she carries is now entirely mediated through photographs and stories and the accounts of people who knew them both. There is something in that which is difficult to sit with. A little girl named for a queen she will grow up to know only through history. A family estrangement that means she will see her grandfather, the king. Rarely, if at all. A father who loves his family deeply, and a set of choices made before she was old enough to have any say in them that will define the context of her entire life. King Charles has spoken about his grandchildren with evident warmth in the rare moments when he has addressed them publicly. He has said he loves them. The palace has not been publicly hostile toward Archie and Lilibet, in the way it has sometimes been perceived as hostile toward Harry and Meghan. The children, in the official institutional view, appear to be regarded with genuine affection even when the relationship with their parents is strained almost beyond recognition. Whether that affection translates into meaningful relationships as Archie and Lilibet grow older is one of the genuine open questions of this story. Harry is estranged from William. The relationship with Charles is functional at best and painful at its edges. The children have cousins, George and Charlotte and Louis, who are growing up in the same country, attending school, living a life that is simultaneously glamorous and ordinary in the specific way that senior royal life is, that Archie and Lilibet are not part of. Will they know each other? Will they have relationships that transcend the bitterness of their parents' generation? Or will they grow up as strangers connected by blood and separated by everything else? Those are questions that only time will answer. But they are not abstract questions. They are the questions that will shape two real children's actual lives. The titles are confirmed. The succession positions are recorded. The constitutional reality is clear. But constitutional reality and human reality are two very different things. And right now, in a house in Montecito, California, there are two children who are a prince and a princess of the United Kingdom. Growing up far from the institution that title connects them to, in a family that is navigating one of the most public and painful estrangements in modern royal history. They did not choose any of this. They were born into it, as every royal child is born into it, without consent, without preparation, without any understanding of the weight that comes with the name. The difference is that most royal children grow up inside the institution that will define them. Archie and Lilibet are growing up outside it. And what that means for who they become, for whether they ever choose to engage with the crown that carries their names in its official records, for whether the fracture between their parents and the palace ever heals enough to give them something that resembles a whole family, all of that is still being written. We are watching it happen in real time, and we will be here for every chapter. You have been watching Royal Daily Report. If this story made you think you already know what to do, subscribe. Because the royal story is never finished, and neither is this one.